so long is like alchemy.
Warriors, Spurs, primetime game. Pop doing pop-like things. No Kawhi, no Tony Parker, no DeJounte Murray. Would the Spurs have a chance? They fed the thickness of LaMarcus Aldridge early. Pause. He's a big boy, man, and he's been rumbling all season, a resurgent year. KD, very quiet. Steph, the backdoor cut, and Pop gets on his young guard. How could you let him go backdoor? Well, coach, you told me not to let him shoot the three. Pick your poison with this Golden State team, and then it's slow motion Kyle Anderson with that panorama forehead. What, he's got a twin? My God, San Antonio. What y'all doing with them barbers out there? And when Draymond's hitting this, you can forget about it. It's going to be a long night. And then my kids, they like Panda Express. I prefer China Clay all over the Latvian. Take another look at this, man. Not quite the elevation he used to have, but he's showing he's still got it. Flashing the hops, the bench loves it. San Antonio came out swinging, but did they really stand a chance? Draymond's like, lean with it, rock with it. Too many slow-footed forwards for the San Antonio team. A soft ball, soft lob, soft finish to JaVale McGee. But I want you to take a look at this. Powell's on him. He doesn't even put a move on him. He just dribbles by him. That's a problem. But tonight was really about Klay Thompson. Led the way with 25, and he was feeling it. He likes the sight of those Spurs jerseys. He gets this one in the corner. How about the other one? Triple threat, heat check, and he put San Antonio away easy. All right, what's good, y'all? Shout out to some of y'all that caught that pregame live. Your boy messed up and, made the private Patreon feed public. Right? Or, the link got out there. I don't know what it was, but shout out to everybody who checked it out. I encourage y'all to check out my Patreon, man. I do this. I eat, sleep, and breathe this basketball shit, man. So if you enjoy my content, please support me. This is my job. I do it full time. That's why I'm at you almost every day with something. Get into the game. It started off, man, and you guys know me. I'm a Zaza supporter, and there's a give and take that takes place with Zaza every night. Big picture and what he brings to the table. I heard Stephen A. Smith the other day talk about, how the Warriors can get punked. I believe it was after the OKC game. They get punked physically. You can rough them up, right? And so Zaza is kind of a counter to that along with David West, right? And so sometimes what he's lacking in skill and lateral quickness and vertical, he brings in heart and toughness. And in the first quarter, first off, I spoke about how Draymond kind of has LaMarcus's number, and it was Zaza that opened up on LaMarcus, and they kind of really exposed that matchup. We had to overhelp on it. It opened up a lot of threes, and they ran their whole offense basically through the first quarter through the mismatch of LaMarcus Aldridge and Zaza Pachulia. So it frustrated me. And then in the second half, he came out, and that's the thing with Zaza. One, he never gets discouraged. He's as tough physically as he is mentally, or vice versa, right? So, there's times where he gets the ball in the middle of the floor, and you're like, man, just dunk that. JaVale with a Statue of Liberty to that bitch, right? And Zaza can barely get a shot up. But then there's the things that don't show up in the stat sheet, the things that are not visible really to us, the fans, or even the people courtside, but within the game that the opponent feels when Zaza's in there. The screens, the elbows, the presence that, hey, this dude, if you collide with him, it could mess your night up. Right? And so I got to keep that in mind sometimes. And sometimes I feel like I have this reverse jinx going. Whenever I complain about a player, they show up. Speaking of which, Klay Thompson, those of you that follow me on the Patreon, I've been getting on him about his hops all season long. Like, dude can't jump over a piece of paper, and he China Clay that ass tonight, right? He saw the Latvian there, and he went up and spiked it. That was obviously the highlight of the night. Steph was all right. He had some wiggle and some nice finishes, and he usually does well against this San Antonio team, seeing it as their lack of athleticism. But tonight was about Klay offensively. He kind of had one of those still got it games, right? He just turned 28, I believe, the other day. They showed, the dog cake and all that, and it was kind of like, yo, I still got it. I can still dunk if I want, right? I still got it. I'll cook y'all. And so that was fun to see. KD was kind of absent, at least offensively, from this game. Only took like 6 shots in the first half. And then I realized I saw a play where he was clutching his hand, and I realized he chipped up the right hand. I don't think it's a laceration. I'm not exactly sure what's wrong with it, but I know his hand is bothering him. And I don't know if that was the cause for his lack of aggression offensively. But fortunately, they didn't need it on this night, right? And a trend that you're starting to see in these 2 weeks up to the All-Star break is the second unit's defense and the veterans really starting to rev it up. And Iguodala, he hit a jumper, I believe, but he moved up and down the court better, and he was a little more aggressive. Livingston has been the most noticeable guy that's really turning up the effort level, and D West is turned every night, right? D West is cut from a different cloth. But the second unit is starting to show what we expect from them, minus the three-point shooting from the guards. San Antonio, obviously, you can't judge them right now. No Kawhi Leonard, no DeJounte Murray, no Rudy Gay, and those are their three best athletes, right? So I say that, but I also say this. I don't think they have enough athletes. 3 guys is not enough, and just the way they're designed, LaMarcus Aldridge, Pau Gasol, Kyle Anderson, the Latvian kid, I don't want to say his name because I don't want to butcher it, right? But when you have all those guys in your rotation in today's NBA, they're going to be asked to defend on the perimeter, and that's just problematic every night. So I just kind of question a little bit the design of the Spurs in today's game. And I also question why they let Jonathan Simmons go. I thought that would have been a nice piece to hold on to. Had a great playoffs last season. What do we have moving forward? I believe it's Phoenix, Portland. There might be a third game in there somewhere between, but I'm kind of like the players. I want to get to the break because I want stuff to start mattering. You know, we can tell everybody's waiting for it, but it is what it is. Hit that like, share, and subscribe. I'm out, y'all.